Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch You Want, and thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at the Omega Seamaster 300 Master Co-Axial. You can see this stainless steel and 18-karat Sedna rose gold Omega Seamaster and buy it on our website, watchyouwant.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and you can feel free to click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full listing for this watch with accessories included, additional high resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that the watch is classically designed in proportion and detail, but modern in outright dimensions. 41 millimeters across the round of the case, the watch is substantially larger than its inspiration, the original 1957 Omega Seamaster Professional. That was the first of the Omega dive watches in a Seamaster family that started in 1948 as more of a water-resistant gentleman's watch. In 57, the Omega Diver was officially born, and this watch increases the dimensions, the heft, the substance, and the quality of that watch in every respect. 15 millimeters thick, it features a cantilevered outcropping bezel, so it's not going to clear the tightest sleeves or dress cuffs, but you should be okay with a sport jacket or blazer. Now from lug to lug, this watch really struts its stuff and opens a margin over its historic predecessor. 52.5 millimeters. From the outermost outcropping, that is the solid end link of the bracelet, to its counterpart on the other side. The watch has impressive stance across the wrist. It also has impressive heft. Now it has the feel of a full precious metal watch, not a two-tone. It has that all-of-a-piece sensation that you get from modern Rolexes, and both Rolexes and Omegas these days feel as though they're crafted from precious metal, even when they're full steel. Add a little bit of rose gold and you have something really special on the wrist. But it is nicely counterbalanced, and this is always important to me, that a heavy watch doesn't want a hula hoop on the wrist. Let the bracelet and the clasp act as a keel, like a sailboat, to keep it upright. And here we have a fantastic clasp matched to a beautiful bracelet, and you can see it does have the channeling underneath between the links to avoid pinching skin or pulling hair. I always like that and appreciate it. It has a milled out steel clasp. Inspired by the Bond Seamasters, the 90s, this improves upon those in every way. Still twin trigger deployant with a milled out swing arm, very solid, can't accidentally release itself thanks to the twin trigger action. It also features a huge upgrade in dive adjustment and fine adjustment. Now you just take the push button slider all the way out to put it over a wetsuit or a thick winter coat, but you can make incremental changes so that you can slightly resize it as needed when you are in hot weather, cold weather, sedentary or active, and you can do all of that without involving your jeweler or risking your skills with the screwdriver against the beautiful finish of this bracelet. I will say too that the bracelet's held in by screws, unlike the pins and sleeves of those old Bond Seamasters. If you are steady with the screwdriver, you can at least resize this one at home without specialized tools like punches and blocks. Now it's also worth mentioning that the watch itself features a unique bezel. Now you've heard of liquid metal, that's Omega's bonding of metallic elements to a ceramic bezel on its standard ceramic bezel sports watches, but here what you get is called Ceragold, because the gold itself is bonded into the ceramic, effectively becoming one with it. So although you may rub against it, you may scuff it, the gold effectively becomes as resilient as the ceramic itself, which we know is effectively as scratch resistant as sapphire. So this watch has long wearing durability designed in. Now the dial is vintage inspired, quarter Arabics. You can also see there's this sort of vintage patina style browned luminova. It is just as bright as any conventional luminova, but it takes on the look of aged radium on the dials of the surviving examples of those 1950s and early 60s Omega Seamasters. What I find to stand out here is that it actually has a little bit of depth to it. Each one of these loomed elements seems to be sunken into the dial, so that the final result is something very much like Panerai sandwich dials, featuring a little bit of depth and texture, each of these indices having its own well indentation in the dial, and it's beautifully legible in any light, low, no, or direct, thanks to the beautiful polished rose gold hands at center, which pop superbly against the matte black of the dial base. There's another vintage element in the broad arrow style hour hand and the marquee at 12 o'clock, but the watch does have some pleasant surprises up its sleeve. For instance, and this is one of my favorites, you have the time zone hour hand built into the caliber 8400, so even though You don't stop the balance, you don't stop the timekeeping, you don't alter the position of the minute hand. You can change your time zone forward or backwards relative to GMT as you travel. Naturally, the watch is a certified chronometer, so when you pull the crown, it does have the hacking feature that many feel is essential to a chronometer watch. Now, it's a COSC certified chronometer, right? No, this is part of the new METAS Master Chronometer standard that Omega announced at the end of 2014. It's a system that they developed in conjunction with the Swiss Institute of Meteorology, so a government agency. It's available to anyone, but Omega is the only one to have taken advantage of it so far. Now, it differs from the COSC in that that's a 2-week test. METAS is a 4-day test, but it is incredibly strenuous, including a test of water resistance of the entire watch, a test of power reserve of the movement itself, something that the COSC does not do and has never done. It also features a shock from 15,000 Gauss, an incredible degree of magnetism that frankly would probably just stop a conventional watch. Thanks to the Si-14 silicon hairspring, this watch is not anti-magnetic so much as it is amagnetic. And of course, if you remember the -4 +6 tolerances of the COSC, well, those are history. METAS does not allow for the loss of time, so that -4 is gone. And +6, frankly, would not make the standard, which cuts off at +5 seconds. And that's after the magnetic shock. So METAS is a serious standard, and it's a serious standard for a serious movement. The caliber 8400 in this watch, exclusive to Omega, features smooth bidirectional winding, a dual-anchored balance bridge on a balance that is free-sprung for exceptional resistance to shock-induced timing variations. And again, it does hack so you can precisely synchronize to a reference timer. It does have 300-meter water resistance. It does feature twin mainspring barrels for a superior 55 to 60-hour power reserve. This is a very sophisticated caliber, coaxial. It beats away at the unique coaxial frequency of 25,200 vibrations per hour. And again, because it is built exclusively for Omega by ETA, it will not appear on any other Swatch Group product. You can see the superb Omega Seamaster 300 Master Coaxial and buy it on our website, watchyouwant.com.